Jess, and today I'm here to do my February wrap up. I've read 9 books this month, which I thought was pretty good. And yeah, so let's get started. The first book I read, I can't remember if I included it in my January wrap up because I finished it on the first day of February, and that is Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series. I really liked how it ended. I'm looking forward to reading The Assassin's Blade and Heir of Fire next. The second book I read was Slammed by Colleen Hoover, and this was definitely a new favourite for me. I'm not sure if I did a book review of it because I was just so overwhelmed by it when I first finished it. I'm not sure if I did one, but if any of you are interested in that, I can do one. Just comment down below. But I really enjoyed it. I just loved it. It's about a girl who moves to a new school after the death of her father, and she first meets this boy and he takes her to poetry slams and he's really cute and really nice, and then she discovers something she didn't know about him that sort of makes them not able to be together, but I'm not going to spoil what that is. But it's so good. It's a lot more than its synopsis. I really enjoyed it, and I recommend it to everybody. I'm definitely on board with reading all of Colleen Hoover's books if they're just as good as this one. Next, I read an ARC, which I have a review of, which will be linked down below, and that is The Winner's Crime by Murray Rustichellis. Last month, I read The Winner's Curse, which I also have a review for, linked down below, which is the first book in this trilogy, and I absolutely loved both of them. I can't say too much about the second book in the series, but I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. It just worked upon what it had gone on in the first book. I'm not sure which one I enjoyed more, but I enjoyed them both so much. So yeah, I really recommend this trilogy, and I can't wait for the third book. I want the third book now. The next book I read was another ARC that I got from NetGalley, and that is Half Wild by Sally Green, and I loved this one so much. I have a review of it, linked down below. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, just because little bits nagged at me, the same as the first book. I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it a bit more than Half Bad. It was a lot darker than Half Bad, and it had a lot of different themes in it, but I really enjoyed it. Next, I read Coco Be Good by Jen Wang, and I got this from the publisher, and I have a review which will be linked down below. This is a graphic novel about a girl who is deciding to change her life for the better. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, not because I didn't like it, but because I think it didn't have enough depth and I didn't have enough feelings about it for it to get any more than 3 out of 5 stars. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, but not enough there for me to love it. Next, I read what would probably be my best accomplished book of the month, and that is Clash of Kings by George R.R. Martin. This is the second book in the Game of Thrones series. I'm trying to read one of the books a month until I finish them, so that for the next 3 months, I think there's 3 more books, and then hopefully I will actually be ahead of the show before the show comes back, I think. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this one just as much as I enjoyed the first one, but it was a little bit slow. I gave it 4 stars because it was a little bit slow when I was sort of pushing myself through it because there was no real action in it, and the action we did get, I think the action is portrayed better in the films than the TV show than it is in the book, just because the book is sort of annoying in, like, when you're in characters' heads, they don't think about the immense details of the battle, they think about themselves a lot. I think it's a lot more interesting in the show seeing the battle parts, so even the battle parts were a bit of a letdown for me. I also think I'll like these books a lot more when I don't know what's going to happen, because they are pretty much entirely the same as the TV show with little differences. Next, I read the Booksplosion book of the month, and that was These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I have not done a review of this because I completely forgot I'd read it, which is not anything against the book because I really loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot more than I thought it would be because it's been marketed and told to me to be Titanic in space, and so I thought, okay, we spend like half the book on the boat and then the boat sinks, and that's what happens. And no, this is like we spend probably about 50 pages on the boat, and then we're straight to the crash, and the two main characters are stranded on a planet that does not have any people on it, and they're sort of trying to figure out the mystery of this planet and why it doesn't have any people on it, because in the world planets have been terraformed so that people can live on them. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The romance was really great. The mystery was amazing. I did not expect any of what was coming, and I really, really enjoyed it. So 4 out of 5 stars to that one. Next, I read The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon, which I have a review for, linked down below. And I got this from the library, and I really, really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars just because some of it I didn't understand. So like for a bit of the world building was a bit off because it just kind of shoved you into it with no explanation, and that was the one thing I didn't like about it. Just I wish I'd got more explanation out of it. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. It was about a girl who lives in a world where clairvoyants are illegal, and she's a clairvoyant, so she commits high treason just by breathing, and I really, really enjoyed it. I will link my review down below. And then I read Legend by Marie Lu. I've picked this up and put this down a lot of times, and this was my TBR jar pick for the month, and yeah, I liked it. I finished it this time, and I really liked it. It was the 3-star book, but I didn't love it, so I don't know if I'm going to continue on. I have a review of that one too. It will be linked down below. I'm currently reading 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, which I think I will finish by the end of February, but I might not, so I'll include it in my March wrap-up instead. Today is 26th, so I've got 2 more days to finish it, and I'm 68% through, so I probably will finish it, but if I don't, even if I do, I'll put it in my next wrap-up. I'm really, really enjoying it so far. So that was my February wrap-up, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.